Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Pliny for Prez, son. I've always wanted to review this beer. It hasn't been, I don't know the history of the beer, so kill me if I'm wrong. It's the beer, well, you will kill me if I'm wrong. You'll kill me if I'm right. But I don't think this has been around all that long. Do you know what I mean? I think it's only been a couple years since I've been making this, but ever since it came out, something about it. I mean, Russian River, Pliny, we get it. But I've always wanted to try it, but obviously it's a hard get where I live. Long Holt, friend of mine, Charles Sul Talk, S-U-L Talk. Go check him out. He does a bunch of beer, spirit stuff, Instagram, YouTube, all that fun stuff. He sent off a box. We received it couple hours ago. We're reviewing it. What do we have? It says hop care for everyone. Pliny the Elder. Pliny for president. This is dry hop 3 times. 2024 Russian River Brewing. Not packaged for resale. 7% alcohol by volume beer. It was canned on the 11th of December. Today is the 22nd, so we're at 11 days old. Done and done. Label-wise, it's a fantastic label. Absolutely fantastic. See where we get. So, this is the weird part of where I exist and how I do things, is that I don't even know what this beer is. I assume it's just a triple dry hopped version of Pliny? But I don't want to know about things until I drink it. So I know it exists. I know I've read some things. Aromatics from, like, that's a foot away from my face. But yeah, I'm excited. I'd be excited. Just, stone fruit, apricot, jammy, fruitiness from a distance. Anyway. That, my friends, be clear beer. It might not be classified as clear beer 30 years ago, because there's the slightest bit of haze to this that is almost criminal not to call it clear beer, but it's clear beer. Just beautiful golden glow. Looks very much like apple juice. Pinky finger, wet as white could be head, and just has this beautiful, soft, little, almost like tight, compact, snow globy kind of carbonation going on. So, yeah, looks the part of a nice beer. Let's get a nose. Yeah, everything here is jammy. It's like a apricot, orange marmalade, jammy, under sweetness. There's a sweetness here. It's a West Coast IPA. There's not a huge resonance thing in the nose. You know there's going to be bitterness there in the taste, but you know there's going to be a sweetness to it. You know there's going to be a nice, clean, razor precision kind of sweetness to it, but it doesn't really come off that way in the nose. The precursor sweetness is not huge there. It's more of an under-sweetened kind of jamminess that vacillates between a little bit of citrus and a bit of stone fruitiness. That sweetness is carried by a grain. It comes off very much kind of just like a crystal malt, 2-row, kind of just hyper tight, kind of well done kind of base malt on it, and just comes off as just a laser beam of precision. It's West Coast personified. At least aromatically, it's what you think of hyper well made, top notch kind of West Coast clean hop forward beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. That's fucking delicious. That's really good. I can't believe how good that is. It's so, and it's weird because I did a beer review before this, and I used the same terminology in this one. Completely different beer. It was a 6% saison. You know what I mean? A spelt saison. Controlled aggressiveness. Just put my tongue. Controlled aggressiveness is what I'm getting here, because everything in here is not shy. The malt is not shy here. The hops is not shy here. On either end, from the fruit side of things or the resinous side of things. But again, Nothing here is ultra violent. Everything here has shaved edges, kind of like when you drink like a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout that has a bunch of time on it. You shave the edges of aggressiveness. This kind of has that vibe to it, but obviously in a hyper fresh, hyper well done package. The malt portion of the show here, which is, probably, it's almost like you have to talk about the malt first when it comes to like West Coast IPA like this, because it doesn't exist without a really well done malt base. I'll stick by my Crystal 2-row. Just tight, clean, well done, perfect balance, sweetness, but fully attenuated to where it finishes dry right at the bare end. You know you're drinking something where malt is there. You know you're drinking something that's not trying to hide the malt. It's part of the show. It's the star of the show. It's the foundation of the show. It's the Phil Hartman of beer. Why'd I pull Phil Hartman out of anybody? I don't know. But it just has this really just sturdy, hyper clean. Again, we're going to keep talking about razor, hyper clean, precision, all that stuff. Base to it. Hops. They're the rock star. Who would be the rock star in this conversation? We're talking Phil Hartman. Dave Murphy? Is that too early? Will Ferrell, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it is that bouncing back and forth between that apricot, orange, marmalade jamminess. Undersweetened, we want to say this because I don't want to give this kind of idea of sweet, which jam is. And this danky, ranky, resinous weediness. So there's a nuggy weediness. There is a ranky resinous. There's even a little bit of onioniness in here. But again, back to what I was talking about previously, it has these shaved edges. Nothing here gets ultra violent. It's kind of like you want to roast your garlic, but you don't want to just roast the crap out of it to where you lose all the garlic when you're cooking. But you've tasted raw garlic, you know how that can just be stinging and sharp, and you can have that a lot of times on these West Coast IPAs that are trying to be a bit too showy. Not Russian River, of course, but that can happen. Here, the edges are so chopped off that it's again, controlled aggression when it comes to both ends of the spectrum. And then the fun part about it is that they're both working in concert. There's nothing here that is kind of like, this one's hyper aggressive there, that one hyper aggressive there. It's all aggressive, but in balance, and just packages itself into this really multiple levels here of fruit, multiple levels inside that stone and citrus. It's just not blank. It's just very, very intricate on that side of things. And when you put that on top of that crazy hyper precise malt base foundation, is it the best IPA I've ever had? That might be the best IPA I've ever had. There's a fly in here. How is there a fly in here? It's 28 degrees outside. It's below freezing all day. Anyway, yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Charles, for sending this off, brother. Very, 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 very appreciative. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like, I talk about this beer about, at the beginning, I'm like, I've been really excited to review this. I hope I really like it. And some people might listen to that and go, he's going to like it. He has to like it. Because he wants to like it. I don't subscribe to that mindset. I try to go into these beers with absolutely the most open of minds. And I try not to do any of this kind of like preconceived notion stuff. It's hard not to. I would say that it's the flip, though. A lot of times I think it has to be, these beers have to show and prove for me to get this excited and gaga over them, because if it's almost like they have to live up to the expectations. I don't try to do that, but we're human. That's how we are. So I feel like when these beers, when I want them to be epic, and they are, I don't know what else to say other than I think it's just, that's what I mean. Is one of the best. Is this one of the better IPAs I've had as of late? Rushmore status, without a doubt. Is it one of the best IPAs I've ever had? It's in the conversation, if not on the mountain. It's that good. Especially if we whittle down to a West Coast clean IPA, non-hazy IPA. This is just, it's on there. Man, it is that good. Absolutely fantastic beer. Value and availability. I actually don't know. Russian River only, and brewery only. But I don't know, like, what it costs. clue me in, everybody. And let's put it this way. What do I want this beer to cost? Oh, for how good it is, Russian River, limited release. Can I get it for... I want to say 16, but I know I'm being greedy. If I can get this for under $20 for a 4-pack, I'm happy. Hopefully it's less than that. And leave you with, if you like, you like this. If you like clean IPA, West Coast IPA, you like IPA, you like good beer, you'll like this. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Russian River. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? What's your favorite Russian River beer? Have you had this beer? Have you had this beer? Have you had this batch? Have you had previous batches? What are your thoughts on all those combined in one of those things where you go like this? Down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying Pliny for president right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.